This is Mace. He is a pony mule, and we've had Mace for quite a while. With mules, they're already pretty difficult to train. They say you should train a mule exactly how you should train a horse, and I mean by the book, completely, 100%. It's not something that you really want to try to rush through, and if you get on a mule's bad side, you're not going to get off of it. It's just kind of the way they are. They're extremely smart animals, and they have a great memory. Now, I've been working with Mace since after he got out of his quarantine here, and he's taken a long time just to come around. It took me a few months just to be able to have him reach out and make contact with me. And after he was able to do that, I started working on petting his forehead, and then I started working on getting the halter on him. And it did take a while to do that. And with these animals, it does. So you don't know where they came from. They probably want nothing to do with people. So just the fact that he can come around and let me touch him now and let me halter him, that is a huge improvement, especially when it comes to mules. Today, what I'm going to be working on, he already leads up pretty good. I just want to start working on handling him all over. So I'm going to keep my lead rope pretty short here. I'll just work on going towards him, and I'll pet him, and I'll come back. And I'll go towards him again here. And what I'm working on is just kind of being able to approach him without him flinching too much or backing up. So every time I come up here and he settles, I'll start petting him. And I'll go away again. Let him have a little bit of a break there. He's licking and chewing, so he's kind of figuring out and understanding that I'm not here to hurt him. So right there, he didn't have to back up or flinch at all. Now I'm going to let him sit for probably about 5 seconds here. Let him kind of relax down. He's licking and chewing again, which is actually releasing dopamine into his brain. When horses start licking and chewing, they actually start creating more saliva. And in turn, that also releases dopamine into the brain. It just makes them feel good. It's a good experience for them if they're licking and chewing like that. But just because they're licking and chewing does not always mean it's a good thing. They could get away from you and be off grazing on some grass patch, and they're licking and chewing over there because they learned how to get away. They got away from the pressure. I'll start working on coming over here, and I'm just going to hold my hand there until he settles, and I might pet his cheek, see if I can go down over here and pet down his neck. And I've already done some of this with him, so he does kind of understand what he needs to do. And I need to start going down his leg here, getting him ready for me to pick that foot up. They need to be able to be comfortable with me touching them down their shoulder, down their neck, down their leg, in order for me to start picking those up. If they're not comfortable with that, I just go straight to picking up the horse's foot or the mule's foot. They're not going to really associate that with a good thing. They're going to associate with that with, oh, this guy's trying to take my foot away. But we just borrow feet here. We always give them back. Right there, he even picked it up when I got down by his knee, so I'll give him a break. He did back up there, but he still did what I was asking him to do, or what I was working towards. So I'll give him a quick break with that. Don't you bite. He also likes to bite, so there's that. That's why I have my elbow up when I'm working on picking up those feet. So if he goes to bite, I can give him a quick kind of check there. I'm not going to elbow this animal as hard as I can, but I have to be able to deter him from biting. And if you just let your animal bite you over and over and over again, they're going to learn that they can get away with it, and that's not a good thing. To make him more adoptable, he needs to knock that off. And I'm just going to keep going at it until he picks up his foot and he quits trying to bite me. That was a lot better. He didn't try to bite me. He picked it up. I didn't hold it there, but that's still a good way to start, get that experience. And I've already done this with him a couple times. He is getting a lot better. The first time I started working on that, he wouldn't even let me touch his shoulder. And that was last week. Now you may wonder why I haven't started picking up his feet with my hand yet. And he's already been here a long time. I need to get an animal comfortable with me just being around it first before I could work on a lot of those things. If you rush an animal, it's just gonna end up being worse. I have picked up all of his feet with a rope before, so now I'm getting him comfortable with my hand being down there picking up his feet. And if he doesn't let me get this picked up today with just my hand down there, I will use the lead rope here and I will pick up his feet, and I'll work on handling him after I got him picked up with the lead rope. But this is still a good way to start, just being able to reach down there and pick these feet up. Hold it, I'll block them, and I'll go right back to it like it's not a big deal. I'm going to repeat that process on this leg, and I'm going to work on his back feet with the rope today and seeing if I can handle him at all. And then we're going to work on a couple other small things like flexion, dropping his head, backing up, just so we can start getting him moving a little bit quicker. Give it back to him. And right there, I'm going to give him a big break. I'll probably give him about a minute long break on that. And the breaks really are everything with these guys. If you get something done, they lick and chew, you think, that's great, let's go to the next thing. You need to give them some time to soak it in. You need to let them think about it for a little bit and have them really understand why they're getting the break. Horses, they learn off the last thing that they did too. So when you release the pressure, say you're getting your horse to stop, you're riding it, and you go immediately in the back of that horse up, then release the pressure, that horse retains the last thing it did before it got the release of pressure. And I'll work on just getting that rope out here, desensitize its legs a little bit before I start. Now what you do to one side, you always want to do to the other side. It goes down to everything you do with these animals, even mounting. And I've already done this with him a few times, so he's doing really well with it. I'll even hold it out here. And once he settles, I'll give it back to him. Now, like I said, I do want to work on handling that back foot. So I'll work on it this way. I'll have this kind of short by his face here. Now I'm still keeping an eye on him in case he tries to reach around and bite me in the butt. But I'm just going to work on petting him down that side. Petting him down that leg. And the reason I have it kind of short on his face here is so he can't turn around and try to kick me. So right there, he let me pick it up off the ground with that rope attached. So we're making pretty good progress towards Mace here. So that's it for that side. I'm gonna go ahead and do this other side. I might give him a break from his feet for a minute and just come over here, work on some things like getting him to lower his head. Get a hand up top, hand on bottom. Just apply some pressure. Drops a little bit, give him a break. I can even go side to side here with the bottom to try to get him to drop. And even a little bit right there, even if he turns his head to the side to start, I'll give that to him. I also want him to start getting better about backing up. He will back up, but it's because he's trying to get away from you. I want to get him to be able to back up on cue nice and soft. So I get my hand underneath and start going side to side and then give him a break when he does. And add a little more force as you need to. And then quit. As soon as they move a foot, quit. As soon as they do anything towards what you're asking them to do, just quit. I'm not saying quit for the day, I'm just saying quit putting that pressure on there. That's how they learn, is that release of pressure. I'll keep going, move the foot. I'll give him a quick break. I'll pet him. Let him know that he's doing a good job. And it's not gonna get perfect right away. This is something that you're gonna need to work at. He might try to take it away a couple times, but he's not really fighting it too bad, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So that is all I'm going to be doing with Mace today. He is doing extremely well. Like I said, it just took me a long time to gain that trust and be able to handle him. But the first, I'd say 6 months I was working with him, it was just trying to gain his trust, just trying to get up there and being able to handle him. And he's been in the chute a couple times and been handling him there, and it's easy to get haltered on him there. So after I realized he was pretty easy to get the halter on inside the chute, I quit putting him inside the chute and I just started working on getting him caught outside. And it took him a while to come around, but now that he's coming around, he's doing extremely well. I'm sure within the next week or so, I'll be able to pick up his feet no problem without him fighting or kicking. So we just got to keep working on him, but he's a smart little mule. He just got sick of people and it took him a while to regain his trust of them. So I'm going to put him up, and then I have some other things I got to go get ready for.